and I was on my phone. I don't remember if I was texting or, you know, whatever. Someone texted me, whatever it was, the situation. He grabbed my phone and threw it. It went under the bed. I was standing on one side of the bed, and when the phone went under the bed, I had to walk around the bed to get my phone. So he grabs me then, you know, and I'm thinking, great, you know, I'm going to get beat up over a phone. Like, what's easy to do? Just let him have it, you know, bow down to him, because that's what I was used to doing. But it's like this one time I wanted to stand up for myself. And he grabbed me, and, you know, we get to the door, and I want out of the room, and he's not letting me out of the room. And, of course, this time he's not allowing, my battery had fallen out of my phone.
When he threw it?
Yeah, when he threw it, it came apart. Okay. So, you know, I couldn't even put my phone back together to call help. He wouldn't let me out of the room, and there was a candle. I remember there a candle being there on the bedside table. And I grabbed it and I threw it, you know, because he's not letting me leave, and I can't call for help. Like, I just, in my mind, I needed to get out of that room. Even if it was in another room, I just needed to get out of that room because it was a small room. You know, he had beat me before, and I was terrified.
And everything's a weapon. Anything you can grab.
Oh, yes, a toothbrush can be a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I didn't really throw it at him. I threw it on the wall, at the wall, and it shattered and got his attention, and I got out the bedroom door that way.
Smart.
So, because I knew if I hit him, it was going to be over with.
Yeah.
So I get into the living room, and I'm getting my purse, and you know, I have my phone, and I'm grab my shoes, and as soon as I grab my shoes, or bend down to get my shoes, he grabs me by my purse, because I had my purse on my arm. And he grabs my purse, and I'm trying to go to the door. Like, I do believe I probably even dropped my shoes at this point, and I say that simply because I remember him throwing them outside.
Okay.
But I do remember having a hold of my shoes, and that's when he grabbed me, and he wouldn't let me leave, and I started screaming, and that's when he decided to pick me up and literally throw me outside onto the concrete sidewalk, down the stairs, and throw my shoes out, and emptied my purse everywhere, because he'd gotten my purse when he grabbed it on my arm. I just slid my arm through it, you know, trying to get away from him, and he dumped everything out. Because that time really scared me. I was scared. The look in his eyes that I saw, I was terrified that day. You know, he hit me, he's pushed me, he smacked me, and that day, I'll never forget, because I was terrified. I was scared in the other situations. But the time he burnt me, in that time, I thought to myself, I have got to get out of this situation. Like, he's going to hurt me. He said, you have 2 seconds to get in the car, I'm leaving you here. So I sit there and I'm like, oh, this is great. You know, there's already been a scene made. I go to the bouncer and I tell the guy, you know, this man has my keys. He's about to steal my car because I don't want him to leave in my vehicle. So they chase him in the parking lot. And there actually happened to be, just so happened to be an officer there who was off duty. Whoever got my keys back, whether it be the officer or the bouncer, brought my keys back to me. I felt great after that. I was like, just let him go, be mad, whatever. He can't hurt me here. I'm in front of all these people. An hour or so passed. I'm ready to leave at this point. I go out to get in my car, and my car's gone. So I'm going through every car there, you know, frantic. My friend is helping me, you know, she's like, it'll be okay, just calm down. finally find my car that is parked in front of the building but off to the side, in a dark place with bushes around it. I walk up to my car and I see there was one little light because I remember seeing the glass glisten in the light, and it was the passenger side, driver's passenger side window had been busted out with a rock. And I'm not talking about just busting the window. He actually did damage to my car. There was dents on top, the side, I mean everywhere. So obviously if someone broke in my car just to steal my stereo, the window would have just been broke. Officer comes, and I call my dad, you know, and tell him about what's going on, and he's already on his way. You know, obviously I can't drive my car home at this point. So the officer comes and actually calls him, because he's gone, actually calls him. Well, I call him in front of the officer and put him on speakerphone with my friend's phone. And I'm like, where are you at? You know, my car's been broken into. He starts yelling at me, cussing me in front of the officer. I'm like, the police are here. They want to talk to you, because at this point he was a suspect. I'm not coming back. I'm already gone. I've walked to such and such, whatever. So I just hang up the phone. If they want to talk to me, they can come find me. That's what he said about the police. Yeah, this is when he was trying to be nice and be a DD because he wanted to be friends. Because if he couldn't be anything, he wanted to be friends. You know, he was sorry for everything he ever put me through. You know, he just wanted to stay in my life somehow. So, and at the time, I didn't want him in my life. I just agreed to it just because I felt safe that way.
You knew where it was.
I knew his thought process. I knew where he was in his head because I knew his angry voice. I knew his good mood voice. I knew his I want something voice. Because, I mean, you just learn that about a person like that eventually, you know?
You went into survival mode, basically.
So we go to this place, which is the same place where he broke in my car. We get there, we have a great time, you know, we're laughing and meeting new people and just, you know, finding out where everybody's from and just having small talk with people, and I felt great. That's the best I felt in a while.
Free.
Yeah, like I just could be myself. So, and mind you, my phone went off nonstop.
Him?
He called me so many times that my voicemail was literally full.
And you had broken up with him? Wow.
My friend was like, you know, turn your phone off. Okay. So I did. He started calling her phone.
Wow, he's
calling
determined.
her names.
Wow. She answered it?
No, this was on voicemail.
Oh, okay.
Calling her names, saying that I shouldn't be hanging out with her because she's a horrible person, yada, 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 you know, and that he wanted me home right away. And so
Wow.
I was like, well, you know what, turn your phone off. So she turns her phone off, and we decided that we're going to go to IHOP because we don't want to go home.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to go home because we're grown-ups. And so we go to IHOP, and we're sitting there eating breakfast, you know, having a good time, laughing about it. You know, we didn't even talk a lot about it. She knew I wasn't in a good place, and I didn't want to talk about it. So, I guess at this point it was about 6 in the morning.
Wow.
6 in the morning, and I'm on my way home from Louisville, and we go back to her house. She lived two doors down from me, and her daughter was actually awake when we got home. She had stayed there to babysit the kid brother, and we were joking with her, you know, we were like, well, just, you know, go make some breakfast, although we just ate. And so they were hungry, the kids were hungry. And I was like, well, you know what, since we already ate or whatever, I'll go to my house and I'll cook breakfast, and I'll call you guys when it's ready. You guys can just come eat. Because I hadn't been home yet at all.
Okay.
And I go walk to my house, I get halfway up the sidewalk, and I smell bleach. And I'm thinking, maybe somebody threw some in my trash can or something, maybe a kid or something. So I put the key in, and it's more I walk towards my door, the more I smell it. There's not a window open. The door's obviously not open, so I'm thinking it has to be outside. So I turn the key, and I push the door knob, or I turn the knob and open the door, and I mean, it just hit me. I mean, literally almost knocked me down, the smell of bleach. And I know right away something's wrong, you know, but I still walk in for some reason. They don't have any weapons. I don't know what's going on. All I can see is a broken window, because if you go straight through my door, there's my living room, and right there's my kitchen, and you can see the kitchen window as soon as you walk in.
Okay. And it was broken.
Yep, busted out. Then that told me, get out, you know. So I ran back to my friend's house, and I'm screaming, you know, oh my gosh, you know, he's broken my house. I knew right away it was him. So I called the police, terrified, and I called my dad. And, you know, at that point, you just feel like you've already lost so much. I mean, I felt like I'd already lost my dignity, my self-worth, and now I've lost my security. Because when I walked in that house, everything was bleached, like all of my clothes, my daughter's clothes, which in my mind is telling me she's next or something. And that might not be what it was, but in my mind that's what I'm thinking, because why would you go out of your way to bleach a 9-year-old little girl's clothes, you know? You know, a few days passed, and I get a phone call from him, and he said, are you home? And he's like, well, you know, if you're not home, you need to go home right away, you know, and you need to go on your back porch. So I immediately called the police.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to the back porch.
Well, and the whole time, you know, I'm recording conversations at this point.
That's good.
Because, you know, if he admits something, I can go, because that's what the police said. If he ever admits it, you know, we can take him down.
Right.
And that's another reason why I was being nice to him too. You know, I wanted information. I wanted him to tell on himself. So I get home, and I actually sit in my car until the cops get there, because I was scared to go on my back porch. We get there, and I walk back there, and there's 2 red recycling bins for the trash that had all of my underwear in it. Had my CDs, which I had no idea that was even taken. I didn't even report my CDs stolen because I had no idea that they were gone.
Right.
You know. I can't remember what else was in there, but I do remember there being 2 receipts, because obviously he was going to throw the stuff away. He didn't realize when he put it in the trash that he was going to throw away that he left his trash when he brought the stuff back.
Oh.
So he had put them, I guess, with his trash to be thrown away, and had a change of heart. Since I was sorry, he wanted to give me back my things. Without admitting that he did anything. So, you know, when we look further, and, you know, of course the police officer made a report of it, but the receipts were from Alabama. His trip to Alabama. One was for gas, and I think another was for food maybe or something. I don't recall exactly, but
But it was obvious it was him.
yes.
Plus him on the phone saying, go look on your back porch.
Right, right.